welcome RPG Limit Break fans to the Final Fantasy Randomizer Duckling Derby 2024 Race 1 Group A. It is floaterless. My name is Sabian Hawk. With me at the booth day is Sonny Wrath with our restreamer Sunflash Room and our duo of trackers Giganaut and Budge Mono. Sonny, what are we looking at with these parties and blursings?
We can't see the parties right now, but as you mentioned earlier, we do have a floaterless set going on right now. So there will be no airship whatsoever. It is week one of the Duckling Derby. We are finally here after 6 weeks of the Duckling Boot Camp, including the 3 weeks of the Platy Party. Over on Jabron's side, we see a Thief Fighter, Red Mage, Black Mage. Scarsher has Thief Fighter, White Mage, Red Mage, and Herbie B has Thief Fighter, Red Mage, White Mage as well. Going into the Blursings. I don't believe. Oh, nope. I see them now. Fighter has plus 20 HP. The Thief resists time, death element, and status. The Red Mage gets Telemagic. The White Mage has plus 5 luck. And the Black Mage has plus 25 agility. Since we don't see a black belt on this, unfortunately, we won't see a plus 15 IG black belt, but that's okay. That just means we're going to be opening more boxes, looking for better gear, potentially a katana, potentially the X-Cal, might even go for a Vorpal. There's all sorts of good stuff to go for.
Indeedly do. Now, for anyone who is new to the randomizer, the floaterless flag is quite hilarious because, things like going to Gaia or Lefane, you normally need the airship to get there. Thankfully for our runners, we have added a few things, a couple added docks so you can get to Onrak, you can get to the Cardia Isles, Bahamut Cave Island, you can also get to the desert for Mirage Tower, as well as a river to the lake in the Lefane, or just off the landing spot for Lefane, and a pathway into the mountains to get to Gaia. So once they have the ship and are out of the inner sea, they can dock where you normally would not be able to. Of course, you need the canoe to dock in those river docks, but hey.
And I already see some Vorpal hate in the chat, but the Vorpal is a real sword, and it does get the job done fairly well. Yes, it is a lesser version of the katana, but if you have katana and Vorpal, you have two extremely good crit swords just right there. Now, with the Maza also being available, I mean, anything really goes. The scaling's low enough that katana and Vorpal, they're not really necessary, but that Maza, on the other hand, whew, is going to be a powerhouse. But it looks like the racers are off.
We do seem to have a technical issue. Forsaken Sadness' stream has dropped. We have a hint there. We've got the Vorpal, looks like, but I
Uh,
missed the hint, so.
Canal is in Gurgle Volcano.
I am just
So
so confused watching the ghost sprites for Jaber and TR. We are trying
so
to get everything synchronized.
yeah, it'll take a little bit to get everything synced, but once everything does get synced, oh baby, we gonna be good to go.
That black magic early, that red mage with the free tele magic, well, what do you know? We got Warp, Lit 2, Sleep 2, and Sleep in level 1. As for white magic, looks like Invis, Soft, Mute, and Fog. Weapons wise, we're seeing nothing special. Iron Rods, I mean, it's a beat stick, quite literally.
Also, I realized I misspoke when I said canoe. I meant canal, but even still, you get what I was trying to say.
That is indeed value. And we have Forsaken Sadness back as he lit 2 Garland to death. Gets that kill. Gonna go ahead and either talk to the princess. Yes, indeed. What does the king have? Herb. Meanwhile, the princess, what do we get? Does she have a loot? No, she has the canoe. Well, that's huge because that gives them access to not only the inner sea with the extended open progression, but we have the river to Melmond. So that horrible peninsula with marsh that no one goes to in the vanilla game, there is now a river through the mountain that takes you to the Melmond Peninsula.
Indeed, and there's the herb as well as the canoe for Herbie B. Scarcer and Jabron working on making it to Garland to knock him down. Did find an EXP chest, so those Light Warriors are looking a lot more beefy now with the
Ooh.
extra EXP.
So anyone who didn't note, I'm the one who rolled this seed for just random reasons, and we noticed that the seed's first 5 characters were 3 dead, 3 DEAD, and well, seeing Forsaken Sadness have imps that insta-deathed his entire party, I think the flag name works.
Yeah, I saw Bane come out there, and that looked a little disgusting.
Well, a side effect is Forsaken Sadness is back up in Toph, and getting those boxes that he seemed to have not gotten, or getting them again before going on to fight Garland again.
Yeah, I don't think Forsaken grabbed him, but it's gonna be big having those because that is extra levels on the Light Warriors. Herbie B, though, about to make it over to Provoco. We're going to be able to have a look at what level 2 is holding, as well as see the pirates just fall flat on their face.
Indeedly do. With that lit 2 at level 1, Bicky's party should be a straight shot. Ooh, Jayburn TR going north. Ooh, 5-pack of imps. We know what they have, and he now knows what they have.
Bane and Stinger off the start. Okay.
I have done them no favors.
Yeah, that's a little nasty.
Jayburn TR deciding, I'm going to walk back home. Must have gotten away from them. Is going to revive his party. Honestly, at this point, I probably would just reset out, unless he hadn't saved leaving. But there's the bottle from Bicky.
A Bicky bottle, that's always nice to see.
He's given up the moonshine after you took out his party.
Now, we did notice houses are a little more expensive this time around, and the TNT is in Canaria locked. Life 2, A-Lit, Life 1, Cure 2. Available here at level 2, White Magic, level 2, Black Magic, coming up in just a moment. We see Brack, Fire 3, Blind, and Ice 1.
Some pretty solid spells across the board there. Meanwhile, Jayburn getting to Matoya's, finding some gold and nothing much else. So, nothing special. And it's like Scarcer is out of Provoca and heading Riverside. We do have the old folks at the Circle of Sages with an incentive item, as well as a random item in Ice Cave. So, yeah, you can go Ice Cave. We've got early warp and telemagic in general, and that is what Scarcer's doing. It's a big risk with these lower level parties, but you can get that item in the first box without having to go through the entire ice loop if you're lucky.
And with all the warp charges as well as telemagic available on the red, if it's in those first 3 boxes, then it makes this play well worth the time.
Meanwhile, Herbie B heading back out of Provoca to the west. Gonna go ahead and check the dwarf chests, and then head most likely straight to Elfland to check what that herb is. Checking some items, gonna pop the bottle. Hopes he remembers that he popped that bottle early.
Coming into Dwarf Cave, gonna get a Silver Gauntlet and 5,300, almost 5,400 EXP on those Light Warriors. Gonna give them a few more levels, always nice to see. Where Scarcer is actually having a pretty good run here through the Ice Cave. Forsaken, taking down the pirates. Jabron just finished taking the pirates down, getting the hint about the TNT.
Looks like a couple manipulations of the encounter table with some save and soft resets are doing a pretty good job of getting through the overworld for Herbie B. About to check what the herb gets from the prince.
Here at the top of ice, we see a pure potion and 2 helmets. And that is the ship coming in from the Prince of Elfland. Always nice to see that early on. And now Scarcer is going to go ahead and check the 2 boxes where this would normally be guarded by a Frost Dragon. Instead, it is guarded by an Agama. That is a beautiful tile to find early on. Albeit, it would take a bit to come back to, unfortunately.
Indeed. We've got to look at level 3 magic really fast. We had Wall, Harm 2, Amute, and Harm. And then level 3 black was Ice 3, Ice 2, Lit 3, and Bane. That is some very powerful magic for black magic especially. at level 3.
Alright, Scarcer checking the bottom chest, gets a lot of EXP and a house, silver bracelet, even more EXP. There's a lot of EXP here. And then a Frost Giant, Frost Wolf encounter that opens up with Stinger. Oh no, please don't tell me the opening Bane is on the Medusa script.
And that would be unfortunate because the Medusa script, for those who don't know, replicates across multiple encounters, so we could have a horrible set of spells and abilities that show up on multiple packs.
3 enemies will get the Medusa script normally.
Herbie B coming out of Elfland, continuing on the loop of the Undersea, gonna check Crescent, has the ship and has the knowledge that that volcano, ooh, and there it is, the loot is in ice.
Big plays here from Scarcer doing that early ice dive, pulling the loot. That is massive. Level 6 black magic. We see slow and fast, and I didn't see what else.
Slow fast, slow to dark. And the crown out of the Circle of Sages, Fire Force sword out of their chest, and the Whiz Stick, pretty potent when used correctly. So that's a gear upgrade, that's an incentive item. Out of ice with exit he goes. Scarcer in good position. Meanwhile, Herbie B out of the Circle of Sages, gonna go to Volcano most likely and get that canal to get access to the outer sea. Oh, no, gonna focus ice first. I kind of get it.
I mean, might as well get ice done. It's technically the longest travel you have. And finding that loot is going to be super nice, as Forsaken is now in Ice Cave as well. Jabron about to get the ship from the Elven Prince.
Did notice there the Frosties that normally on that tile the Agma has, well, they had fire too, so going against their traditional spell casting, or traditional temperament.
Yeah, that's true. Alright, we get... Oh, go ahead.
So no longer following their typecasting.
We get to see the expensive houses again here in Crescent Lake. And level 6 white magic, the best that was seen there is Exfer, which, don't get me wrong, Exfer is nice, but not entirely what's being sought after. Ah, Mosmoon in Sky 2.
That is some very valuable information to have.
Big info right there, and I do believe Scarcer is going to be heading into the volcano with that wizard stick in tow. That does allow the potential of Carrie being killed.
Noticing the check by Jabern, we got Saber, Quake, pretty solid magic. At Black, level 4, Lock 2, not a bad thing to see. But the bigger thing was the Heal 3, Invis 2, Fade, and Cure 4 for level 4 white. That is stacked. Unfortunately, that's a lot of good spells on one level, but it's nice to see those spells nonetheless.
I mean, after promotion, the red would be able to learn Heal 3, Fade, and Cure 4, but prior to promotion, it's just Heal 3, Fade. So
Yeah.
it's really hard to decide what spells you want to take and what spells you want to leave on the table.
Indeedly do. Scarcer, our first runner in Volcano, clearing out the hairpins. Volcano, just like Ice, is random, so that incentive item is not guaranteed to be behind the red D chest on Carrie's floor. We could literally find the incentive item and just bug out for now, but I doubt, given how we've seen this run has gone, they will be bugging out a Volcano. I'm fairly certain they've got the gear and the incentive to just go, and kill.
Indeed, and while we've been talking, we did get a raid from Flossie Fern. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome to the first race of the 2024 Duck Derby, the Astos Falls Grand Prix. We have the first group, and right now, Scarcer in Volcano looking for the incentive item. It's on this floor. Is it going to be in the bad hairpins or is it going to be here? We're about to find out. A mage stick, not bad to find. Giant iguana tile. This isn't the Hall of Giants. A little more money.
Forsaken Sadness out of ice, and her bee about to follow, and there's the canal.
All right, canal has been located. Jumping out, gonna house up and jump back in. Here we go. This is the dive to attempt carry.
I like this timing on the dive. You've got levels so far. You're not overpowered, you're not over-equipped, but you definitely have what you need. The spells are there, the gear is workable, and of course there are more chests you can take along the way, whether you go all the way up into the top left or you just get what's on the way. This is a fairly chest-dense dungeon.
It is, but the real question is how many chests are the runners going to loot before they say, I'm just going to go for it. And considering that Scar already has the knowledge of where the Maza is, as soon as that chime and cube are obtained, an in-game weapon's not really going to be an issue.
This is true. Ooh, cremate on those iguanas. That we did not see before.
Ew. That's a little nasty.
I mean, it's more thematically appropriate for iguanas with cremate to be in Volcano than ice dragons with fire too.
This is true. Alright, just checking chests on the way. A flame armor +4 is a pretty good find. That's a lot of absorption that can be thrown onto that fighter. Getting nerve there.
Now, and the thief post-promotion if we get there.
Oh yeah, and that was another Cerberus encounter right before the chest that is not guarded by Agamas. Forsaken picking up the crown, and Scarcer on the bottommost floor of Gurgu Volcano. Healing up.
First fiend fight on stream, if not in the entire race. Gotta mention, this is 4 people on stream, but we have 8 racers total in this group.
Indeed. And here we go, talking to the orb, and it is time. Going to open up with the wizard stick. Fight. Invis on the fighter. Taking a look through the spells. Gonna attempt the Brack. I have appreciation for this. 3 hits for 137 from the Flame Sword. Ineffective from the Wizard Stick. Ineffective from the Brack. Gonna attempt it again. Going for another swing. And is it gonna be another Brack? No, just a wait. 3 hits for 104. Wizard Stick goes out. Ineffective again. The Thief is down. Invis goes out again onto the fighter. Going to Life 2 up the Thief, because Life 2 is usable in battle, and Viz goes out again. 3 hits for 75 damage, this time coming out from that fighter. More Invis, and just going to wait with the red. Red is down. Wizard Stick, ineffective. Another swing, 3 hits for 80. Not getting too terribly much damage, but fortunately with Life 2 casts and being able to bring back the character in battle, it is nice to see, but immediately gets punched down. 3 hits for 83 damage coming out. Gonna keep trying to get that red mage back up, and the red mage is alive. 3 hits, 89. Wizard Stick goes out. Still ineffective. No confusion just yet. 3 hits, 104, and that is going to be the first orb lit over on Scarcer's side at 16 minutes and 3 seconds.
Now that is a whole lot of life and a whole lot of whiz sticks that did not land. For those who didn't watch the winter tournament, the whiz stick, or this year the wizard stick, which costs confusion on the enemy, it's usually really effective and can be quite clutch against carry, especially if you're at lower levels. Scarcer just not getting that kind of luck.
Yeah, poor RNG definitely did not help out in that scenario, but Scarcer was able to make it through, has the herb in hand, going to turn it in to the Chancellor, and then talk to the Elven Prince, get the ship, and be on the way.
Meanwhile, the cube comes out of the crown turn-in for Forsaken Sadness. That is half the access to Sky they need. Unfortunately, not the access to Mirage Tower to get those chests. As Burn Tiarg makes his way out to Melmond, checks the hint giver, finds out, oh wait, the loot is in ice. Well, we know that. Burn now does if Burn hasn't been there.
All right, Scarsher gonna go ahead and pick up Wall. Extremely good utility spell in Battle Ribbon. I mean, let's be real here, Thavian. How many times has Wall saved your butt?
Wall is one of the most valuable items, especially in the rando, because you never know when you'll get those ribbons. You could end up with no ribbons. Or you could play the spell crafter flags where you can get Wall that's a party spell and just be happy.
Alright, so Matoya has the slab, which means you're gonna have to find that crystal, and it could be in a shop, it could be in one of the incentive locations, it could be anywhere.
Meanwhile, Herbie B actually did get a bit of confusion, saw Carrie do about 10 damage to herself. Does 5 more damage there. Herbie B getting a lot better luck in this fight than Scarcer did. Actually gonna use Lit 2 instead of trying to use any other spells. Actually get some damage in. Mage Stick being used instead of the Thor Hammer. I mean, comparable effect, I'd say, in this case. No cast of the Ice 3, it seems. Otherwise, I'd assume that'd be used. Rob stays up, and there you go. Fire 3 gets the job done. That's all 4 party members up, and 1 orb lit for Herbie B as Burn does the dive into ice, and receiving the cube is Scarcer.
That cube being on Astos himself, very nice find for Scar, just needs to find that chime, and that is full sky access with Bracket in hand, able to potentially instantly kill Tiamat. Be really nice to see, but we'll have to wait.
Now, I should point out, for anyone who's kind of confused, no, our runners aren't just fading Marsh because Marsh sucks. Marsh is not incentivized this time around, neither is Titan's Tunnel or anything in Earth Cave. Our incentive locations are Ice Random, Ordeals Vanilla, Volcano Random, Sea Shrine Random, and Sky Vanilla, along with the Corneria Locked and Cardia Isles. And of course, since we are playing floaterless, we have the dock at Cardia for Bahamut's. That also has the Bahamut's Horde, so all of the chests that are in the Cardia Isles are linked and replicated right behind Bahamut.
And I appreciate Scarcer making the Ordeals play here, but unfortunately Pillar 1 just sends him right back to the start of the 4-way split. Pillar 2, on the other hand, looks like it is the way forward.
Sadly, no 4-pillar, but we also didn't get an early pillar maze, so we're getting all of the... Well, that's a friendly third split to see. Knock you back to the same room.
That split was super nice to see, and just like that, Scar is about to be through the pillar maze and on to the back of Ordeals in order to get whatever item is here. Zombie D tile, though, here at the Nightmare tile, and we see some mummies and whiz mummies coming up. Mummies with slow, which is a little unfortunate to see, but not the end of the world. 266 gold coming out of that first chest.
Meanwhile, Canal picked up for a Forsaken Sadness as Herbie B looks like he's about to turn in the crown to get the cube.
More mummies with slow. They're just wanting to eat time, and we see Poison Touch coming out from, I believe that was the Whiz Mummy.
And of course, those who have not noticed, Scarcer is one of our runners who likes to run with a palette swap, so the sprites do not necessarily match up with your expectations. I very much enjoyed the desert-esque camo carry fight.
Alright, and the chest is the Oxyale, so Scarcer looking that much closer to being in go mode.
not a horrible thing to find, given the fact that he can dive down into Bahamut's, check the Cardia Isle item right here, and those chests, and then go straight to the Onrag continent, has access to the waterfall to check what the robot has, could even find the shop item in Onrak before diving into the Sea Shrine.
All right, here we go. It is time to see what lies within. If this is the tail, we have the laziest Bahamut ever. No, it's the Ruby!
That's access to Sarda. That is another check item. Also, with that river dock for Lefane and Gaia, we do have the ability to check Gaia for the Botto option. What the ferry has, of course, you'd rather not dock there until you have the slab translated, just so you can avoid revisiting. But Scarcer, gonna take the northern route, gonna actually go up and check what Sarda has rather than go towards Onrak just yet.
Yeah, I'm curious what the thought process is, though I believe it is immediately...
Oh, nope.
Oh, nope.
Frozen image. He is actually in the on-rack. Gonna check what the... Ooh, adamant for sale at the caravan for 11 grand.
Yes, he definitely was frozen, but does come up here, gets the shop item, is able to go get the item in Waterfall coming from the robot, and we'll soon, hopefully soon, see the play towards Kraken.
Well, I'm hoping this is the key so that when he dives C, we can get into TFC and get the incentive item. Because the incentive item in TFC is just how it should be.
Now the incentive item is going to be in Bubbles Room, and they're going to have to carbonate her.
I mean, that's a mandate nonetheless.
All right, Forsaken Sadness taking on Carrie here. Taking a look through spells. Doesn't have much. Does have Ice 3 at the ready. Can end up using that or Lit 3. Either one will work. Decides for Lit 3, but only does chip damage. Thief swings for 1. Fade's going to come out for 208. Fighter swinging. I believe that was 186, but the Lifecaster goes down.
Not having that white mage, not going to be able to bring it back up. Got the black mage instead.
Black mage attempting to brack does not succeed. More brack coming out.
And Mr. Robot has an opal bracelet -3. I mean, it's universal armor and usable.
3 hits, 65 damage coming out from that fighter. And the thief is on a knee. Lit 3 comes out for 60 damage, but that terminates carry 1 for Forsaken Sadness.
Forsaken lighting the orb and getting out as Scarcer makes his way to Onrak, and Herbie B going into the Bahamut's Horde to raid some rubies.
I have to agree with Phoenix's assessment on the opal bracelet being an opal.
The downsides to a -4 are noticeable, honestly, especially when the gold bracelets rolled up and are for sale, as did the silver bracelets, which rolled up 4 and were substantially cheaper. I think the gold bracelets were about 2,200 or 22,000, and the silvers were like 1,500.
All right, Scarcer has taken the dive into the Sea Shrine. Gonna go ahead and check the Kraken side to start, which is always a play I like. So here we go. First chest is an Aegis Shield +3. Aegis Shield, super nice to find, but not entirely necessary. Best thing to find right now for Scar would be at least a ribbon.
There are 2 loose. There is 1 in the incentive pool. We'll know which one's which by the chime on the screen or the delay if we don't have them on audio. But regardless, it is the best armor possible, and we've seen some very annoying things come off some of these early encounters.
Bane Imps.
Yeah, well, pro rings for that. We have another carry on stream for J-Burn TR. Gonna go with Ice 3, gonna go with Swing. Swing comes out, no, not that much damage from the Thief Ghost. Swing for the fighter, a bit more damage. Lit 2 coming out from there. Fire or Ice 3, that should be much more effective. It's about 96 damage. Gonna go swing, gonna go Thor Hammer, gonna go ahead and cast. Looks for options. Lit 2, is it gonna be?
I think it will. No, it's Fire 3, and yes, Thavian, you have been corrected. As Bane is poison element, it does not have any death status connection to it.
I have been corrected. I appreciate that. And did anyone notice that Scarcer picked up a Vorpal -1 out of that bottom right chest? On C, on Sharknado floor? Yep, -1. That Desert Lawn Dart that you chuck off the Bridge of Destiny, it's probably not going to hit the intended target.
Why throw it from the Bridge of Destiny when you can throw it from the window?
This is true. These are options. And Jayburn TR finishes it up. 4 runners on stream with orbs lit.
Always nice to see. And here we are with a few ghosts over here for Scarcer. Gonna run away from them and check these 4 boxes. A defense sword +1. That is a ruse item. Super nice to see. And hello, Slime Tile. How are you doing?
Metal slimes and a ribbon. Woot. I believe that is our
Paid.
incentive ribbon if it comes up and chimes.
No, it's not. That is one of the loose ribbons.
Extra big find, especially when you're about to take on a late game fiend. Saw Forsaken Sadness hop into that room on the Ordeals floor. That is a linked chest with the final floor, so no real reason to check that. Walks right out and finds the pillar 1 is nothing, goes in pillar 2, and continues the loop as Scarcer goes to Carrie's floor.
Kraken, you mean?
Kraken's floor.
Otherwise known as water carry.
But punches with more times than for Harker.
Yeah, pretty much. As Herbie V also comes into C, is going to pick up that Aegis Shield and more than likely end up keeping it. I'm going to go ahead and check the other chest here on... Or no, not going to check the other chest here on the opening floor.
Now, if I remember correctly, the hint giver in Onrak, I think I just said something about the tail and a sage. Maybe that'd be Sarda?
Yep, Sarda will be the one that has the tail. As we see a Kraken pulled here. Going to use the defense sword on the red. 3 hits for 104 coming out from the fighter. Invis 2 comes out. Defense sword. Kraken attacking the thief. Doing a bit of damage, but not enough to really be lethal. And now it's time to start Bracken. 3 hits, 122 coming out, and the thief is dead. Brack comes out, ineffective. Invis going out onto the red. Swing from the fighter, 3 hits, not too terribly much damage. Life 2 going to be used, but Brack gets initiative. Ineffective. 3 hits, 181. Good damage coming out there. More Invis going out onto the red. Swing from the fighter, 2 hits. Not doing a lot of damage. 35 damage with a crit from the thief. Brack ineffective. And now that red is not being hit for anything. More Invis coming out. Brack again. Ineffective. 3 hits, 56 damage with a crit coming in from the thief. 2 hits for 66 coming in from the fighter. And still just invising up the red. 1 hit, 1 damage. 3 hits, 54 damage. That's a terminated Kraken 1 for Scarcerer. Going up 2 orbs where everybody is at 1.
Finally getting it done. Sadly, the Bracken not getting the kill, but the damage chip in, going, gone. Meanwhile, Herbie B still on Sharknado Room, picks up that ribbon, goes right back to work using the Fire 3 to deal with these metal slimes. Gonna get a huge chunk of experience heading forwards. that will pay dividends, or can pay dividends, as Scarcer dives back in to the Sea Shrine to check the TFC floor and try and find that incentive item.
Absolutely. And Forsaken Sadness over here on the Onrak continent, about to head straight into Waterfall.
Did not go to the desert to check the caravan. Hopefully Forsaken remembers that, because if that adamant turns out to be something like the key, that is potentially endgame. And hey, we have an eye in
I see.
C.
I regret nothing. All right, Scarcer almost finished with TFC without the key. Does find the power bonk here. That's really nice to see. Gonna drop that silver helmet for it, and then immediately get into an encounter afterwards.
Well, an interesting shark pack there. Not really something he wants to deal with. Checks the final chest here. Oh, no, more sharks and sharks.
Jabron sitting at level 15 on most of the party. The Gersharks have slow to open up with. And it's just some money. The incentive item is going to be over here in the Mermaids. 266 gold, 760 gold, and 1841 gold. Not a whole lot of money coming out of there. There's the Opal Bracelet, -3 for Forsaken Sadness. And there is Matoya's Crystal right next to Bubbles' room. And
access to the slab. And oh my, Scarcer, why you do that? You exit out. Poor Scarcer. Meanwhile, as Scarcer leaves the Onrak continent, Herbie B pulling up to Kraken. Let's see how Herbie B does. Gonna go ahead and use the... What was that equipment he just used? I missed it, but Invis coming out. Gonna go ahead and wreck. Nope, Fade. Gonna go ahead and full damage on here with the Red Mage. Swing out of the fighter, 144 there. Zeus Gauntlet being used by the Thief, 55 damage. Fade coming out for the White Mage, 120. There goes your Thief, but you got Swing, you've got Fade. Does he? Nope, he's just going to straight swing, fade, go full damage. There goes the fighter. We did not see anyone lose a fighter earlier. That's pretty dang powerful, but hey, fade does it. The casters get the experience, and Herbie B is out with an orb lit. Meanwhile, J-Burn out of Ordeals. Looks like he's heading towards Gaia and Lefane.
all right, there is the slab for Scarcer. Jabron going to go ahead and make his way up to Gaia. Going to see what the bottle yields.
Take advantage of the little cutout of the mountains that we have added. And ooh, the No Fun Police are very, very flaming today.
Very much so. They are out in force and not going to be able to run away. Is all the way back at Ordeals, and that is the key coming in from the Adamant. That is big for Scarcerer.
That is indeed huge. I can say I may have called it, but I'm not taking that responsibility. That's big. You've got access to the chests here in Carnaria. You've got access to all the other locations where there are chests if you want to redive when you get the TNT, which, wait, oh, we have a vanilla-ish TNT, don't we? French vanilla?
No, it's completely vanilla.
Okay, well, you've got access to the entirety of the Dwarf Armory and right next door to that turn-in. If that turn-in is, say, the Rod, or better yet, the Chime, that gives access to one of our remaining 2 dungeons. And of course, we know Sarda has the tail. There's no floater, so that's basically all the other items available, other than maybe, I don't know, Massa?
Massa's in Sky, though, so if it gives the Chime, that's going to be even bigger, as that's going to push for Sky to get done. The only thing that is not accounted for, as it is the Chime, the only thing that is not accounted for right now is that Rod. Granted, the incentive ribbon would be nice to have.
And that's what came out of the bottle. The fairy gives up a ribbon.
It's always nice to see.
So at this point, we know the last turn-ins are going to be, or is going to be the Rod, and that is going to come off the slab from the Lefanians.
All right, moving equipment around, getting that Thief geared up super, or not that Thief, that Fighter geared up super well. And now
Scarcer,
it's off to do the things.
Scar's gonna make sure to translate that slab. We'll only need to go to Lefane and Gaia once, as not been there, so saves that extra bit of routing. Meanwhile, well, on this continent is gonna check that level 5 magic. We've got Harm 4, Harm 3, Cure 3, pretty nice magic. Not promotion locked for that right mage. Only the black mage has the promotion locked option. The normal warp slot, which in this case is confused, but the red mage can't learn them anyways.
Yeah, Scar will have to promote in order to learn that temper, but that's not too big of a deal.
Herbie B going to turn in, or to dock for the Canaria check, I guess, out of the Matoya's dock. Had to reset out because he found the Gur Imp pack, and it just was too much pain for him.
They said hi.
With a vengeance. Scarcer through the Titan. Interesting. Herbie B, instead of going all the way around the map, is actually docking at Matoya's to go to Dwarves to turn in that Adamant. Gets the Hooray Dwarf. Doesn't kill him.
Scarcer entering Sarda's Cave, going to pick up that tail. Forsaken has picked up the item here from Sea Shrine, the crystal.
At this point, Scarcer's route, I'm going to assume, is Bahamut to translate, and then Gaia Lefane to get the ribbon and get the rod and be go, go, go. May decide to go to Sky before going to Gaia and Lefane. I think Bahamut's Gaia Lefane and then go it would be the route I would take.
Wait, Bahamut can translate?
Well, he's already translated the slab.
Yeah, but you said go to Bahamut to translate, even though I know you meant promote.
Did I say translate?
You did.
Well, I mean, dragons are intelligent.
They really are. Especially when you have one that is a deity of the world.
Yeah,
Technically, too.
Then I always have to remember that Bahamut and Tia, they kind of broke up. She got the Sky Palace, he got the islands. I mean, who got the better out of that divorce?
I mean, I would rather have the islands than the Sky Palace.
Yeah, but then you don't have the roaming war mech. That's just such an awesome gain. And Scarcer is promoted sub 40. This is actually going fairly fast for a floaterless seed. I approve.
You can tell that there's been a lot of work put in, and Scarcer's routing has been on point so far.
And Scarcer is going to get the Lefanian check and the bottle check out of the way. That will give him access to all the items. That ribbon will come in handy for sure on one of his parties. There'll be 2 ribbons in hand. And the rod to get into Earth, meaning full-on go mode.
Indeed, Jabron in the waterfall about to get the bad news of the Opal -3.
Another good reason for Scarcer to take this route, going Gaia first. He was very low on heal pots. Looks like he picked up over 90 heal pots just then. So being fully restocked before diving his final 2 dungeons, he could probably just go, go, go without having to stop in for any other refills.
All right.
Fire shield around, gonna get the Aegis on the knight, fire shield on the thief.
Full equipment shift here, and gonna pick up that second ribbon that's immediately going on to the white mage, going to be set up and good to go there.
Herbie B checking with the hint giver about the loot. Oh, well, that don't matter. Gonna go ahead and save up and get out of Melmond. Taking the river. Interesting. Oh yeah, he's docked by Matoya's. He actually went all the way on foot over to Melmond.
That he did, and Scar is in Lefane. Gonna pick up that rod, be fully in go mode here at the 41-minute, 35-second mark. And now it's time to grab some magic for that night.
We have the Lefanian Superstore. You've got access to every bit of magic except for the magic exclusive to Gaia and the magic exclusive to Onrax shops.
All right, level 6 magic. Gonna go ahead and pick up Lamp. I appreciate this. And, of course, cannot forget about Temper for the red. Not going to be able to pick up fast because it is in slot 2. The only Red Wizard learnable slot at level 6 is slot 1. So would be able to pick up slow, but that's it.
Well, unfortunately, slow is not often fast.
But slow can be a lifesaver.
Indeedly do. Scarcer going out, choosing, just went a bit too far south, going a bit too far west, gonna have to come back east, go a bit north, resets out, and there you go. Finds his way to the desert as Jayburn in C picks up that power gauntlet, gonna make his way onto the mermaid's floor to get the incentive item out of there. Scarcer in go mode is just gonna say, I don't need what's on this floor, and just run straight up the tower and on into sky.
But
Get your robot chickens in chat, whether we see them or not.
But we'll make a pit stop in Sky 2 to pick up that Mosmune, as that is the item here in the Mirage Sky combo.
See, that's the thing with Sky, it is vanilla, so we do not need to run anywhere special. It's just Sky 2 in that bottom left room that, you know, ironically enough, is where the Adamant is, which becomes the Masa.
No, it becomes the X-Cal.
Oh yeah, the Masa chest is in Tia's floor in TFC, isn't it? I'm an idiot.
I mean, the Mazda might as well be forged of adamant, but it doesn't have the same properties as the X-Cal. Better stats, though!
In many ways, better stats, just no elemental affinities. But better stats are what really matters, especially in the endgame, because that X-Cal, great against everything but chaos. No elemental weaknesses on that boss. And Scarcer promoted is going to take this 6-pack of Metal Slimes in Sky. It is a huge chunk of experience, especially with the experience ramp. We didn't mention it before, and if you're new to the randomizer, the gold and experience that these runners gain for their party scales with the number of incentive items they have. So having basically every incentive item possible, Scarcer's getting maximum gold and experience bonus from taking any of these fights on the run. And there you go, taking that little jaunt to the bottom left, gonna pick up a Masa. It's vanilla, but that's still the biggest of big sticks to swing.
Gonna move the Flame Sword over to the Ninja and have that Maza on the Knight. And with that, Scar is looking pretty good right now.
Tigers with Trance just messing with Forsaken and Titan's Tunnel as Scarcer's moving on. I did notice he moved the Fire Sword, did momentarily equip it to the Thief, but actually switched back to the Dragon Sword because that Dragon Sword rolled up. Swinging against Tia will do more damage. Obviously, the Fire Sword +3 is going to be a bit more strength across the board, but taking the crit bonus, I like it.
Now, unfortunately, taking the route in Sky 4 that does eat up one extra step, as if you go right and up or up and right, you actually end up saving one step. So that could actually come back to pose an issue as he gets hit by Blaze Nachos.
Too spicy, didn't let it cool. I mean, it's extra nice. It's really good when it's extra gooey, but that heat can really soak into the roof of your mouth if you're not careful.
Does run into a 4-pack of R Hydras, gonna use Double Fate on them.
As he finishes that up, we have Herbie B having run all the way up Sky just behind him, taking on a solo pack of Nachos, and here we go. We have Scarcer with Tia. Swing, wall, and Brack. Gonna try the Brack strats again. Not the super effective, but still the meme can hit. 4 hits, 256 from the knight, 20 damage from the thief. Not enough levels to get a lot of hits, sadly. Gotta go with wall on the red mage, gotta go with Brack. Hold comes out, does not hit the knight. Brack comes out and gets the kill on Tia. What did I say? I anti-cursed him. That is 3 orbs and 1 to go for Scarcer.
The good old broken into pieces on Tia, as Herbie B, not too terribly far behind, is at the 4R Hydra Pack. Going to use Ice 3 to take them all down, as Jabern is in Earth, realizing he doesn't have the rod and there's no point of being in there. And it's time for Tia. Gonna attempt the Bane and Fade. Swing from the Fighter, 253. Fade coming out for 115. Swing from the Thief, 4 hits for 176 with a crit. Bane ineffective. That Thief is down on a knee, but it is fine. Gonna pivot into Fade. Fade. Swing, 4 hits, 232. And that is a dead Tia for Herbie B. Right behind Scarcerer as a whole.
May not be promoted, but that Dragon Sword in that Thief's hand's doing plenty of damage, and Scarcer doing the same thing we saw before, docking at Matoya's and then running through all the way across to the River to Melman to get here, not bothering to boat around the map. This makes some sense, I think, because you're going to have to run pretty much straight back the same way to get to Topher, but I don't think it really saves much time. Whatever the case may be, Scarcer all the way on to Earth 2 and moving down as Herbie B is on his way to Melman to join him.
I don't believe it is faster, but it is some massive style points for Scar.
Always love when the River of Melman actually sees use. At this point, the only difference between Herbie B and Scarcer is progression on the map. Jabern getting that key turned in from the Adamant. Forsaken Sadness, meanwhile, has not gone to the shop in the desert, has not gotten the Adamant, so will not get the key just yet. This is unfortunate. This does have the rod, though, has access to the Dungeon of Earth.
And Scar just blazing through Earth Cave right now. Going so fast through it.
Does take a second to equip that fire sword on the thief. That is going to be much more valuable against the undead. Fire damage doing extra crit, so if we get the swing from the thief, it'll most likely easily annihilate the speed bumps that are the vampire. There you go, 4 hits, 425. Checks the box, finds an opal plus 4 helm. Not going to bother to take it. The ribbon is just kind of better headgear as Jabern gets the TNT.
And Scarcer are about to head on to the back of Earth 4, and immediately is greeted by some wizards. Fortunately, it's pretty easy to run away from them now. And Forsaken, though, is gonna have to head back to the Onrak continent in order to pick up that Adamant, so the key can be obtained and the progression can continue.
Yep, needs that Adamant to get the key, needs that key to get the TNT, needs that TNT to get the chime. So that is a pretty big chain that he has yet to fulfill. Meanwhile, Herbie B taking on Vampire, gonna fade it to death. And Scarcer coming up on the Earth Fiend, going for that final Fiend kill.
Alright, so get ready, because it's time for the old Hi Lich. And after the Mazza swing, we get to say bye, Lich.
A hi, a bye, and Jabern TR. I don't know if he had it, but he did talk to Dr. Oon at the slab. Has the ruby, but has not gone to start to get the tail. I'm a little confused there, but Scarcer, meanwhile, out of the river dock, heading the river Lefane, gonna walk his way up to Toph, has all the pots needed, has a house in hand, takes a little of a weird route going up over there, but it gets the job done. Forsaken Sadness, meanwhile, out of the Gaia and Onrak play, kind of has to think, well, where's my progression? What have I missed? Because Earth is available to him, but there's no incentive item in Earth. He has to think, where is it? Did I miss it? It's got to be the shop item, I guess. Gonna go Crescent, it looks like.
5130. 5130. Scar enters the front of Topher, has broken the black orb, and gets greeted by a 3-pack of gas dragons, which try to take out the ninja, but fail in doing so. And now,
I'm shocked he doesn't take that fight. That 3-pack is very juicy, but if he thinks his levels are good enough, Rod for Jayburn.
Now it is time to head into the back, but first, the two safest chests to obtain here in Topher. And there's the loot use, and 5221 Scarcerer is through the final locked door into the back of Topher. This is looking to be an extremely good time for Scar.
Now say at the back of Topher is like, what, he's into the liminal space of the back rooms? That'd be interesting.
Onto the earth floor. If all goes well, this could be a sub-hour.
That would be an incredible showing for our first of the pods for week 1 of the tournament. As we are pulling up on the Lich 2, we got Jayburn with a Whiz Mummy pack, 5 and 4, and then a 7-pack of Metal Slimes for Herbie B. Good experience to had. There we go. Fade coming out 268. Swing with the Masa comes out 265. And there you go. There's a speed bump. Mark II out of the way.
And now on to Carrie's floor. But first, going to get greeted by some Argiants and Agamas. Granted, it's just an Argiant and 3 Agamas. Now it's some Argiants and Agamas. And now it's into the carry fight. Here we go. We're going to see 2 swings, 2 fades. Fade 1 comes out for 248. First swing from the Ninja. 4 hits 81 with a critical hit. 4 hits 325 with a critical hit from the Maza. And that's a terminated carry 2 onto what is potentially the Gatekeeper.
We have access to the seafloor. We have access to Kraken 2. Gershark, Big Eye Pack, not going to bother. Going down and down. Herbie B is taking that Gasty fight from earlier, is in Topher, not too far behind. This could be as fast as Scarcer going through. Topher is the great equalizer. This could easily go bad. As you say, Kraken 2 can be a massive gatekeeper. We have a white wizard in this party. We may not have a white wizard very soon.
But with a white wizard, as well as a knight, as well as a red wizard that all have life 2. That's big to see. Gonna go ahead and pop the defense sword in order to get some evasion stacks up. Gonna follow up with a fade coming from that red wizard. Invis 2 goes out. Fade coming out for 102 damage. Low roll from Fade. 2 hits for 3 damage coming out from the Ninja. Fight, wait. 4 hits, 203. No, it was fight, wait. 1 damage, 3 hits for 78. And the Knight takes a hit and just shrugs it off. Swing for 1 damage from the red. 2 hits for 57 coming out from the Maza. The swing, 3 for 3 from the Ninja. Gonna pivot over to tempering up that Knight. 2 hits for 47. And there is the White Wizard targeted down. Gonna have to get the kill quickly. 3 hits for 92 damage. Gonna life 2 up the White Wizard, hopefully. 2 hits, 88 with a crit. And another target onto the Knight. 3 hits for 81 damage coming out this time. So a little more damage coming out from the Knight. Unfortunately, it's not terribly much, but gonna pivot into the fades. 3 for 3. And down goes the Red Wizard. Fade coming out from the White Wizard. 172 damage this time. 2 hits for 90 coming out from the Knight. Looking to get the Red Wizard back up. 3 hits for 175, though, is going to kill Kraken 2 for Scarcerer, making the way to Tia 2.
as Scarsha gets the kill on Kraken 2, goes into Tia 2's fight. Herbie B now through the speed bump of Lich 2. Here we go, Fade coming out, Swing coming out from that Fire Sword. Did not switch back to the Dragon Sword, but it works. Masa doing 130, Fade coming out for the Red Mage 196, Swing 2 hits for only 51 damage. This Tia is not really hitting too hard, it seems. Gonna cast Wall on that Thief, or Ninja, gonna swing 4, not that much damage off that Masa, sadly. 4 hits for 4 damage. That Fire Sword not doing anything, but the Fade does, 131, and oof, Wall doesn't help against damage, it helps against spells, and that was a punch right through all the armor. Gonna go ahead and put some evasion on the fighter. Well, almost loses the White Mage in the process. Temper coming out, I should say. Life coming up, though. The Thief is back up. Gonna have to think, what is he gonna do with that low life party member? Doesn't really have any cure spells, so just gonna let it die if it has to. Cast the Fade, 3 hits for 112 in on the Knight, 4 hits for 113 out. That Thief doing pretty much nothing but standing there, just tickling the dragon. But there you go, 4 hits, 157. That is Scarsha through to the final floor. If he can make it there, there is still some steps to go.
As Herbie B comes up to Kraken 1, gonna go ahead and make use of Wall here, power bonk the fighter, but Nuclear is gonna be the leading ability from Kraken 2. Scarsha healing up after defeating Tia 2, and we're about to have some massive fiend fights going on right now. Fade comes out for 149 over on Herbie B's side, 4 hits for 75 damage from the Thief. 5 hits, 426 coming out from that fighter. Heal 3 is going to come out as Scarsha pulls Chaos. Not going to do much of anything. Going to temper up the Knight and use the Maza when it was a mismenu for the Power Bonk. Invis 2 is going to come out, raising everybody's evasion. That way, if Chaos punches, don't have to worry about taking as much damage. Fight. Going to wall up the red. Use the defense sword. Get more evasion. Wall comes out onto the red. 1 hit, 1 damage. Nuke comes out from Chaos, and everybody survives it. Unfortunately, does not have any heal charges, but does have Cure 3. Gonna go ahead and defense up again. 4 hits, 4 damage coming out from the Flame Sword. Heal pushing goes out, putting the Knight back over 400 HP, but Stop's going to come out and miss everybody. That is a huge miss coming out from that Stop. Cure 3 onto the Knight. It's time to Power Bonk up. The Ninja swings, 4 hits, 4 damage. Power Bonk goes out. Wall is going to happen. Rub comes out, ineffective. Cure 3 to top off the Knight. Swing from the Knight, 312 damage. This Chaos has some evasion.
And
apparently.
Fast
does come out, and there's the second nuke. It's man mode. It's hold A and pray. 3 hits for 250 damage, but Life 2 is going to save him. He's going to have somebody that can throw out heal pots or even use that Cure 3, which is a godsend for him right now. Swing from the Mazda, 3 hits for 67 damage. It's do or die at this point. 2 hits, 222 with a crit. Cure 3 comes out. Back up to 455 HP on that Knight. Heal potion going out onto the White, but the nuke has cycled back over. 3 hits for 190. It's hold A and pray time. Stop comes out, misses. 3 hits, 250. Gonna keep going. Swing and a miss from Chaos. 2 hits, 131. Deciding whether to heal or not. Instead, gonna use Life 2. Bring up the White. Rub's gonna come out. I believe Nuke is coming up next. Gonna heal up. 2 hits, 292. Terminated!
That is an unbelievable amount of clutchness for Scarsha, getting the first win on stream and first overall with the racetime.gg time of 1 hour and 4 seconds. So close to the 1 hour time. Meanwhile, Herbie B finishing up through Tia 2, barely made it through Kraken 2 with 2 men up. Thankfully, the Life and Battle doing a good job to keep Herbie B alive. Forsaken Sadness just finishing up with Lich as Jayburn leaves Sky, having killed Tia. Herbie B getting set back up with the heal pots to get ready to go into that chaos fight as we try and see if we can get our final runner in stream for interview.
We'll start the interview, though, in a moment as Herbie B comes up to Chaos and pulls him. Doesn't have too much in the tank, but is going to go ahead and wall up the red. Has no Cure 4, no Fade, no Heal 3. Power Bonk goes out. Invis goes out, wall onto the red, and now it is Weight Power going to, I believe that was an Ice 3, if not a Lock 2, but Nuke's going to come out. Unfortunately, the red is down, so no lock on the table right now. Gonna go ahead and use that last charge of Life 2. Stop's gonna come out. Ineffective across the board. Life 2 comes out, getting the red back up. 5 hits for 613 right off the bat. Big damage coming out from that fighter on Herbie B's side. 51 damage, though, to follow up. Unfortunately, not what you want to see, but that 613 is a big boost. 5 for 387. Rub's going to come out, be ineffective. Swing, wait. Chaos's fast goes out, so it does equate to a free turn. 4 hits, 475. This Chaos has got to be close. And 2 hits at 318 is going to terminate Chaos. Get your GGs out for Herbie B, finishing in 4th place overall, second on Restream with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour and 3 minutes flat.
That is with Sorbius, our racer off stream, at second place with a 1 hour, 1 minute 8. And just behind at 1 hour, 1:35, Flurry 14. That's 4 finishers in this pod of 8, and unbelievably close. GG Scarcer, you pulled it out.
Thank you.
All right, Scar, I know you've been doing quite a bit of practice. So I'm going to have to ask you, this seed compared to your practice, how did it feel?
Oh, I felt great. This was nice. It was a little jettier than what I was usually putting up.
Your routing the entire seed was on point. Were you at all worried when you were going into that early ice dive?
Nah.
I didn't think you would be, honestly, but I had to ask the question.
Yeah, I had 2 Life 2 casters, warp and exit. It was easy money.
Honestly thought I'd cursed y'all when we saw the seed started with 3 dead, but honestly it turned out to be pretty survivable.
Hey, I had 3 dead at the end. It was that's how it works. No, I had 2 dead.
How appropriate.
My white mage left.
Yeah, because you were able to get the white mage back up.
Life 2 in battle.
Yeah, with Life 2.
We are joined in the booth by Herbie B. GG's Herbie.
Hey, thanks. That was a lot of fun.
The river to Melman, putting it to use.
You know what? I was looking at the flags and I was like, oh, that's there. I wondered if it was gonna turn into something. So I'm not sure if it saved me time, but it worked.
Oh, did you also go like after killing Tiamat to go to Earth Cave for that?
I went that way to well, I went there to translate the slab first, right? And then I kind of did the back and forth from there. So, yeah.
Nice.
But when I eventually went back for Earth, I ended up going all the way around. But I had parked up and then kind of, I don't know. It's always a pain to go around Earth, right? Go around that whole continent the long way.
Yeah. No, I get that entirely.
We were talking about Scarcer with your routing, just being able to get the items in the order you did. You were able to clear out basically everything in, I would say, the most optimal routing.
Thank you.
So, You said this race seemed, or this felt a bit jetty, but did you ever encounter the imp pack?
No, what did they have?
They opened up with Bane.
Yeah, I hit that a couple times.
Yeah, you definitely got poisoned a few times there, Herbie.
Yeah, that's where you just feel so safe. I'm kind of like, mostly towards, the end of my leveling, and then I'm like, oh, this is safe to walk around, Canaria Castle. How dangerous could it possibly be?
Suddenly, Bane! Aww. It's always a feels bad moment when that comes up.
Well, at least the river system seemed somewhat survivable. A good encounter table, honestly. I noticed a few really long runs on the overworld with some nice use of reset manip.
Yeah, it was a nice walk cycle, this one.
Yeah, it seemed like, and right off the hard reset, right, you go in, there was one right in the dungeons, though, so if like, you went right in the dungeon, you had to burn one, but in the overworld, it was pretty good.
Yeah, I think the 2 additional dungeon encounters filled into the space before the first encounter of the overworld. Just from how long the walks were.
That sounds right.
It was annoying.
Yeah, with the massive hero run that you guys had, that allowed for a much easier exploration.
I think that's what led
Forsaken.
Melman to be good. The river to Melman to be worthwhile.
And it absolutely was in this case. We do have Forsaken Sadness entering Topher. We'll call it about the hour and 8-minute mark.
Still a pretty solid time to go. And there's that Ghastly pack. Notice, Scarcer, you did not bother to take it. It looks like Forsaken also not taking it, feeling comfortable with the levels. We know what Chaos has. We actually, one of our trackers dug it out of the scripts. Y'all want to hear what Chaos had?
Was it 2 nukes?
Let's see. We got Stun Nuke, Stop Rub, Fast Nuke, Lit 2 and Fire 3 at a 96 out of 128 chance to cast, followed by Blizzard Ink, Nuclear Ink at a 64 and 128 to cast. So very casty and very dangerous. Scarcer, I don't think you saw the nuke that was on Kraken though. Herbie definitely did.
Yeah, that nuke was it was a little mean.
And then for some reason, he kept punching my white mage. I don't know why. I feel like, I guess Kraken 2 doesn't like white mages.
I mean, there's a philosophy I've always had with Kraken 2. If you take a white mage, it's always going to have a massive target. It doesn't matter what slot you put it in. Even if you have said RNG on, that white mage is still going to have a massive target on it.
Yeah,
And
it's going to
Kraken's
set
gonna
the
go after it.
RNG to the white mage.
Exactly.
And we are rated by Schmike W. Thank you for joining us. We're on the back end of the first race for the Final Fantasy Randomizer Duckling Derby. This is Group A. We'll have Group 2 racing, I believe, on Speed Gaming this Sunday. We'll get to that after the race finishes when we're in our final commentaries. But Forsaken Sadness on to Carrie's floor in Topher. Choosing up to what to use, gonna swing. Didn't want to cast, it seems. Swings with the sword, defense sword being used, it looks like, by the knight. And the Masa in the hands of the ninja gets the job done. I actually kind of like that. You got
That
the
would be an
defense sword
X-Cal,
first
actually.
spot. Ooh, where did he get the X-Cal? I did not see that.
I'm not sure.
Well, that's definitely the right choice in that case, because until you get to crack into Chaos, who has no elemental weaknesses, an X-Cal does extra buku bucks with the doubling of the damage.
I thought the damage bonus was 30, not double.
Yeah, the damage bonus is 30% extra damage, so it's not a double, but it is bonus damage.
I stand corrected. And it's a +4, wow.
Oh yeah,
Big
this
Stick has had We are going to have to ask Forsaken where he dug that out.
Yeah, this X-Cal is a big stick.
Xcal +4 might be better than Masa +0.
I do
flat out.
believe it is, flat out.
Kraken going after that Knight, knows it has the Masa. Knight standing tall with really good gear. Honestly, what was found with the Aegis Shield, Fire Armor, good gear was found, but hey, 5 hits to death for the Ninja. Oh wait, that's a tempered X-Cal swung for 700 plus damage. Gonna go ahead and life up, has plenty of charges to light to at level 2 to use. There's the Ninja up on hand, or up on its feet, as some heal pots to bring up the Knight, ready to go down against Tia 2.
And first, some sorcerers. But Jabrin TR, also in Topher, taking a bit of a grind here just to get some extra levels, which, you know, the safety play, not entirely a bad one.
Yeah, took the attack, or took those Gasties and just kind of forgot what way he was going, went back down there. Going through the the loot plate, still really solid time, 12:35 to get back into the past, as Forsaken Sadness onto Tia, goes with the swing, goes with the power bonk. Gonna go ahead and go with, does he go fade? Goes fade and goes fast. Okay, that explains why the Masa was, or the X-Cal swung so hard against Tia 2, or Kraken 2. There was a fast involved. Wait, Tia had a nuke? Okay. Nuke takes out the Black Mage, chumps down every single other character. Gonna go with swing, gonna go with swing. Gonna go with cast item, it looks like. Not bothering to try and life up, but 7 hits for 500 plus. That is a dead Tia 2. Remembers to res or heal before walking those last few steps.
Yeah, that opening nuke from Tia 2, scary to see, did take out the Black Wizard, but the Black Wizard had already done its job fasting up the Knight, as Jabrin is working on taking out Lich 2 here, and Forsaken Sadness about to be walking into the Chaos fight. Unfortunately, very limited on healing magic as it stands. This could be a very, very scary Chaos for Forsaken Sadness.
As Forsaken Sadness takes on the Chaos fight. Oh, we got a small delay. Chooses up Ghost or Swing. Goes for Swing. Goes for Swing Fade. Gonna Power Bonk and has one last cast of Fast. Gonna use it on, deciding whether he uses it on the Masa on the Ninja or goes on. Yeah, gonna use it on the X-Cal wielder. Jay Shidel in chat pointing out that 56 versus 53 attack, 50 versus 47 hit, and 22 versus 20 crit. The X-Cal, or the Masa, is ever so slightly better than the X-Cal. But it's such a close choice. Oh, the nuke comes out, takes down the Knight. Temper goes out on a dead body. Gonna go swing, gonna go ahead and gonna dig out some life casts.
He's not using life.
Focus on the Ninja, but Blizzard wipes out everyone but the White Mage. Stop comes out, decided to swing for some reason. Okay, questions. Rub comes out, does nothing, going lit 2. I think Forsaken's just in critical thought mode, trying to think how to do, when to do, what to do, and why.
And I do think Forsaken has forgotten about life in battle being on. The second nuke's going to come out, and that's going to be it for the party.
An unfortunate encounter with death for Forsaken Sadness, rediving. Scarcer, Herbie B, how much did you enjoy having life in battle?
Yes.
A lot.
Life in battle saved my run.
Although I did have to say, I was very nervous not promoting. I had the hint, so I knew it was over and started. I figured it wasn't worth it. It definitely made it a much scarier without having life on the Knight.
Yeah, the lack of life due to promotion was definitely a thing, but it did not turn around to bite you this time.
It was close, but I don't know. It was a gamble I took, so it worked out. I think in the end.
It was a worthwhile gamble at that. All right.
Although it would have been nice to have some gear.
All right, Jabrin going on to Tia 2 as Forsaken is in to the back of Temple of Fiends again. Gonna make a second go of it. Look at these health values on the Light Warriors.
That is thick enough to survive a few nukes, and we've seen a few nukes, and Jayburn will no doubt see more to come. Gonna go ahead and figure out what spells to cast. Lit 2 there, from there. Fast coming out on the night. Nuke immediately comes out, immediately takes out 2 casters. Oh, no, no, no. That is a Ninja Ghost and a Night Ghost to 2-man a Dragon Queen.
And that Ninja is down to 12 HP. Ninja is now down. It's just up to the Knight here. 5 hits, 277. But Tia swings for 262, taking down the Knight.
Tia playing the job of the final gatekeeper for Jay Byrne. Meanwhile, 5th overall runner, Razor 1, finishing up with a racetime.gg time of approximately 1 hour 16:53, and by approximately I mean exactly. Thank you, racetime.gg, our tracking room.
Jabrin taking some more encounters just to get some more levels on the Light Warriors. Gonna see a slightly lower level than what he was at earlier, but Forsaken Sadness already back at Lich 2. As we say, hi Lich 2, bye Lich 2, due to the power of that X-Cal.
I mean, I didn't even see anything. I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, it's easier to see a camo spec carry on Scarsher's screen with that power swap you were running rather than Lich 2 in general.
All right, speaking of carry 2, back to her fight. Ice 3 is going to come out, doing chip damage. 5 hits for 212 coming out from the Maza-wielding ninja. Ice 2 comes out from carry, not doing too terribly much. Fade comes out for 254, and that's it for carry 2. She rolled light tonight.
On to the seafloor, the first of the 8 keepers, which we saw both bar runners ahead fall to repeatedly. Again, life in battle, saving runs. Jay Byrne gonna check the validation chest before diving into the past yet again.
All right, Forsaken Sadness getting into a water encounter, but is able to run away. If we had the unrunnables set to what they normally are, that would have been one of the unrunnable encounters. But now it is time for Kraken yet again.
Power bonk, lit 2, swing, and fast.
Swing from the Mazda for 98 damage. Fast goes out. Power bonk goes out. Kraken attacks the ninja, dropping it to a knee. 2 hits, 2 damage. Coming out from the red. All swings, all gas, no brakes. 7 for 723 coming out from that X-Cal. Holy moly. 3 for 263, and there's the nuclear coming out. The Black Wizard survives, but 7 hits for 1077 is going to seal the fate of Kraken 2. It's on to Tia 2, and this party's looking a little rough.
Now, forgetting, does Forsaken Sadness even have life on the night? Because if not, this could be bad.
This could be very bad, and I don't think he does.
Nope, and he is front-loading the knight. He should keep the ninja up front and leave the knight back. That would provide him the higher probability of of running away and getting a second or a first strike. But goes within the front of the party, goes with fast, goes with temper. Tia doing some damage, just hitting that knight down. 265 left. Fast and tempers are out. The X-Cal swings. There you go. That is a dead Tia. Forsaken Sadness on to Chaos yet again, or on his way to Chaos yet again, but no guarantees with a two-man party knowing what's waiting for him on that floor.
But gets the encounter right before getting to Chaos's floor. Is unable to run away on the first turn. Fortunately, the worms are targeting down the knight. Still unable to run. This could be a situation that ends up killing Forsaken Sadness, but no, makes it out.
And that is why you always heal before moving out of these fiend fights, especially Tia, because that floor has a lot of really potent enemies to deal with. And I do believe Forsaken did swap the Masa on instead of the X-Cal just then. Shifts the party members up, has the Black Mage in slot 2, the Knight in slot 3, hoping to get the fast out first, does not have any other things to use, gonna go ahead and fast, gonna go power bonk, not using any evasion items. Speed and power. Stun comes out, the Black Mage doing absolutely nothing, but the fast gets in 5 damage, 5 hits for 259, not a lot of damage, gonna go swing. Speed and power it is, 7 hits, 351, but Nuke comes out, 1 hits the Black Mage, Knight down to 227, swings in 495, Blizzard comes out, 188 left on the Knight, stop, hits. This is horrifying as the rub comes in, and there you go, Forsaken Sadness right back out of Topher. Big Nuke and big pain. Meanwhile, a J Burn TR on to Kraken's floor, about to pull that fiend.
Just unfortunate to see over on Forsaken's side, but it looks like he is going to take a few extra encounters, try to get some extra levels here onto these Light Warriors in order to hit the later breakpoints for more hits. Fast is going to come out for Jabron. Nuclear is going to come out from Kraken 2. Zeus Gauntlet and Lit 2 doing about 100 together, but 9 hits for 705 coming out from that Maza, and 8 hits for 356. Ooh, that's a ghost turned into a ghost.
How
2 hits.
One kill that which is not alive. Well, we've seen Kraken does it.
Yep. And I do not believe Jabron has Life 2 on the Knight. So unfortunately, gonna be sitting here, not looking too great, but there is a chance.
Meanwhile, Forsaken Sadness doing the walking grind. I must point out using Lit 2 instead of Fire 3, which is far more effective against the Metal Slimes, but the Fade did get the job done, so that's a chunk of experience. And taking this 4-pack of Gasties, I do believe that he's warping out. He is going to exit out, save the experience that he's got on this dive. Using warp because he does not have access to exit, just keeps casting it over and over again. Gonna walk that short hop. One of the flags in the randomizer turns this on. Normally you cannot walk that out. You can actually in the vanilla game use warp or exit to come back to the future from the past.
Yeah, I like what Jabron is doing here, going to head back to Canaria and revive the fallen mage.
In a pinch, it can matter. Those levels gained, that experience gained. Meanwhile, Forsaken Sadness finding some zombie Ds with slow just to nag and irritate him as he continues going. Went right when he should have gone left, just routing around. post the loot plate, finds the Zombie D Whiz Vamp pack. Gonna go ahead and take that. Those Whiz Vamps can be quite juicy.
And Jabron sailing over to... Where are you going, Jabron? Heading over to Lefane to hit the Superstore?
It would be a logical move as far as getting the spells, only having to go to one place, and it's not that big of a sail, all things considered. Gonna save, gonna manip to avoid some encounters on the run down to Lefane.
Looking like Jabron's on a hero run right now, and absolutely was. Back into Lefane to hit the Superstore.
As Jabron does some shopping and Forsaken gets on to Lich's floor yet again. This has been an interesting setup. We've seen so many trials and tribulations. Will the extra magic make the difference for Jabron?
Unfortunately, Jabron could have learned Cure 4. I don't know if there is an extra spell slot available at level 4 right now, but that Ruse definitely going to help. Can't learn the level 8 spell. Heading back over to level 2. Not picking up Life 2 for the night, but definitely going to pick up Invis.
As Jabron moves on to gain the black magic, Forsaken Sadness pulls Carry 2 yet again. Ice 2 coming out of the Fire Fiend does some chip damage, but Excal does 425 and Mossa does 300. There you go, Carry 2 and gone. Onto the seafloor yet again to face the nuclear squid. Octopus, Kraken thing. Fiend of the Sea.
The Sea Fiend.
Now I just want a war mech in Sea Shrine that's reskinned to be a submarine, and it can be Chicken of the Sea. War Chicken of the Sea.
Then it'd have to be a tuna can.
The bad jokes abound.
Alright, Jabron leaving Lefane. I didn't see him pick up Life 2 on that night, but hopefully it's not going to come back to bite him. Going to do a power cycle here in the Yonakaran Desert.
Going for an overworld grind with this hero run up front, this is suboptimal, especially when we have the RA Cleos off the hard reset. If he really wanted to go for a grind, that's kind of hard. Without the floater, you don't have the fast routing to Ice Cave to go back to where we saw that Agama. You'd have to go through the river system. I don't like this play from Jabron. He could have gone into Topher and just ground in Topher. We know where Gasties are. We know where Metal Slimes are there. Take the grind you know. Don't go searching for another grind if you can avoid it. It's just a timing thing. Meanwhile, Forsaken Sadness down AABB is on to Tia's floor yet again.
This Topher in and of itself has been fairly rude. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like there have been any good encounters so far in the desert. Lots of Ankylios, lots of our Ankylios. Just not looking all that great here for the desert grind.
Meanwhile, the nuke coming out from Tia 2, 25 hit points on that Black Mage, barely standing, gets the temper, and going to get the temper out, gets the fast out, loses BBBB, gonna swing yet again, thinking, gonna fight, just you not bothering to wait, just gonna hit a bunch, 7 hits for 10 plus 100 damage, gets the job done. But this is again 2-man mode, because Forsaken does not have life on that night. Will 2-man mode do it against the chaos that we know is to come? Well, we shall see.
That's the real question at this point.
For all we know, we get ourselves into a loop where it's hit A and pray, and all Chaos does is tap for nothing as repeated damage is done by one of Forsaken Sadness's characters. Not likely, but it would be fun to see.
Alright, is able to get the run from the air elementals down onto Chaos's floor yet again. And now it is time.
Puts the Black Mage up front, puts the Knight in back, and go ahead with the call.
Fast going to be used immediately on the Knight, as well as the Power Bonk followed up. Stun's going to miss the Knight. Fast goes out, as well as the Power Bonk. A very, very generous turn one here from Chaos. Temper going to be used, as well as another Power Bonk. And initiative is had. Chaos swings at the Black Wizard, dropping it down by about half its life. Swing from the Knight, 6 hits for 842. The Black Wizard is down. Blizzard comes out. Another swing, 6 hits, 528. Stop's going to come out, be ineffective. Another swing, 7 for 747. And get your GGs out for Forsaken Sadness, terminating Chaos at an hour, 32 minutes, and 31 seconds, according to racetime.gg.
Well, that was a very hard fought grind, but GG, we are joined in the booth by a Forsaken Sadness. Well played.
Thank you. And it's just Forsaken. You know.
All right, Forsaken. I gotta ask you a question.
I thought my double Topher dive in the beginning was great. It was a perfect strategy to get those chests.
Did you have Life or Life 2 on the Knight?
No, I didn't. I once I promoted, I forgot to go get spells, and I just was like, I didn't even think about it.
That's fair.
I got distracted because I sat there for a minute and I couldn't remember where the last store was for the life of me. I was like, I thought I looked at all the stores. And that's when I should have been looking for spells, so...
That was going to be my question: is when did you realize you forgot the desert shop?
Well, I was like, all I have to do is go to Gaia, and that'll be the last store, and I'll be fine. And I got to Gaia, and then I was like, there's nothing in the store here. And that's why I started going around to a couple other places, trying to think and see if I missed anything somewhere stupid. And I was like, oh yeah, the Hidden Caravan. Never at the Hidden Caravan. It was at the Hidden Caravan.
Well, I mean, we had the vanilla TNT. We might as well have a French vanilla item in the caravan.
Right. Oh. Kind of glad I did that early ice play, that's for sure.
Yeah, the early ice play was big for a lot of you.
Getting that loot up front, knowing you didn't have to search it out.
Mm-hmm. I was doing fine until I looked over at the flag sets and I was like, Ice Cave random, Sea random, and I was like, Volcano random. Oh crap. I had to remember where all the chests were.
Okay, speaking of chests and items, gotta ask you this question, my friend. Where'd you pull that X-Cal?
Alright. So the chest right before you get to the Vampire and Earth is my, victory chest. I check it every time. It always has what I need, and this time I pulled an X-Cal.
Okay.
That's a clutch check.
It was. I was excited, and then I didn't realize when I got to Chaos the first time that I still had the X-Cal equipped, and I was like, well, this is the wipe.
Well, based on what Jay Scheidel said in the chat, that X-Cal actually was pretty dang close to the Masa, given how high it rolled. But it was nice to be able to see the Masa being swung by the Ninja. Sadly, with the nuclear, which we didn't even see out of that Chaos, it was kind of hard to keep party members up.
Yeah, I noticed that. I got excited the first time I got there, and then I was like, I wanted to spend more time in Sky grinding, but I was like, I don't know if I have time. And so I skipped a lot more fights there than I wanted to. And then that last round, I was like, you know what? My red mage is really only here for life right now. I'm gonna go ahead and use every crap, I forgot the name of it. The white spell that does damage to everything.
Fade.
Fade, thank you.
You're welcome.
Sorry, I've been awake since 6 a.m. and it's almost midnight, so.
Yeah, you've been awake for quite a while.
Mhm.
Oh, Jabron unfortunately losing the red wizard here, so no life for him either. Gonna have to power on through this Kraken too, and yee, that night ghost took a lot of damage. But yeah, I mean, even with the adversities that you faced, it was still a well-run seed.
I enjoyed it. It was a great seed. My biggest problem I've always had is trying to remember where all the docks are. And then when I realized it was floaterless, I looked at Volcano and I was like, I should come back when I have better spells. I didn't want to, but I thought the better option was to go down. And then I completely forgot that the king gave me the herb right away, and I was like, let's go get Astos. And then I was like, oh wait, I have herb. I came back. So luckily those spells helped a lot. I almost went and did March before I realized I didn't have to.
Could you say you had a bit of analysis paralysis?
Yep.
Which is absolutely fair, especially in the circumstances of a floaterless seed. Overthinking what you're going to do is a major downfall in these, but you still succeeded as a whole.
Determination to prove that your head was thicker, or your skull was thicker than whatever you were bashing it against. I appreciate that.
Look, I'll say this much. It's not my record for amount of deaths in Topher. I'm pretty sure that's like 14 or 15. But it was a little bit more than I wanted today.
Which is absolutely fair, my friend. All right. Jabron about to be at the chaos fight. We're almost to the end of this. Just one worm stands in the way at this point.
One worm and two bodies. Two bodies through, 33 across the two party members. Hopefully this will be enough for Jayburn to finish off Chaos.
Alright.
It's crazy to think that fast is probably the least threatening thing this Chaos does, or has been doing.
Jabron moving party members around, going to spam heal everybody. And here we go. Making sure all the equipment is set properly. Gonna move the ribbon from the red over to the black wizard ghost.
Min-max the armor, totally understandable. Not putting the... leaving the opal on instead of the black shirt. I don't know if that opal -3 is better than the black shirt -1 in this case.
It definitely is.
Has a ribbon, and has a pro cape.
One thing to remember with the black shirt and the white shirt is their absorption values are equivalent to that of the gold bracelet. So even though the opal bracelet is -3, it is still better than that gold bracelet +1 for absorption, as well as the black shirt -1. Fast and a power bonk to open up the chaos fight. Going to move into Temper. Gonna power bonk again. Temper does get initiative. Power bonk goes out. So that is 3 Tempers and the fast. Gonna push it up to 5.
The juicing is real. That is a Barry Bonds of a Knight. More temper. Stop comes out, does not hit anyone, and the swing goes out. 925, getting the damage in. More temper. Gonna go with more temper. Just speed and power in the Boral. More power into the swing for the speed, and there you go. 2 hits, 2 swings, 6 hits, whatever. GG's for Jay Byrne with a time of 1 hour 41:25, 7th overall.
Big damage from that final Mazza swing for Jabrin. And just like that, we have come to the end of the opening race of the Duckling Derby, the Astos Falls Grand Prix.
Our final runner in the Group A at 8th is Rax, finishing with a 1 hour 50:30 off stream. GG's to Rax.
And we did not get any response about an interview from Jabrin. But, you know, Forsaken, you're in here. I think we got the questions we wanted to ask. And Jabrin's actually going to decline the interview. Doesn't have a microphone on the current setup, which is all good. So, with that, I think we should jump into final thoughts from you, Forsaken. So, take it away, my friend.
Honestly, I had a lot of fun. I've been looking forward to this tournament since last year. There was a lot of great runners last year, and this year so far I'm seeing a lot of great runners. I look forward to racing against more. Thank you guys for hopping on and hosting, and thank the trackers. And I look forward to next week.
Next week's going to be a doozy at that.
Yeah, I got to practice those flag sets.
That you absolutely do, and don't forget, Life and Life 2 in battle are turned on for next week as well.
Oh,
so.
I did not know that. I've been running Fizzle Seeds so much that I forgot.
That would do it, my friend. That would definitely do it.
I will remember that now.
But yeah, just remember you have Life and Life 2 on in battle, so those spells definitely come in handy.
Yeah, they do. I didn't even think to even try it once.
That's fair.
Well, with that, Sonny, you got your final thoughts for us?
I mean, I've got a list to go through, so I was going to say, if you want to do yours first, Thavian, by all means, go for it.
Well, I'm just going to say thank you much for RPG Limit Break for letting us take up your channel for this glorious race. Thank you for all you viewers for tuning in. We've got another race with these same flags coming up on Sunday, Group B, of which I'm going to have to contend. So all the pressure on me now to match what our runners today have done. And of course, thank you Giganaut, Budgemano, and Sunflash Room for the tracking, and restreaming respectively.
All right, the laundry list of stuff that I have. Since we are on RPG Limit Break, I'm going to go ahead and get that one out of the way first. RPG Limit Break is coming up here in 16 days, May 19th through May 25th. It will be here on twitch.tv/RPG Limit Break. It is the live RPG marathon benefiting the National Alliance on Mental Illness. So definitely give this channel a follow and keep your eyes peeled for that. It's always an amazing marathon to watch. It's an amazing marathon to attend, as I've been there twice myself. And yeah, it's just a bunch of fun in general. Next part is the Final Fantasy Randomizer Summer Marathon is coming up I believe it is next month. Double checking the calendar to make sure. Yes, it is next month. We will have it from June 14th through June 16th. So definitely keep your eyes peeled for that. Game submissions are open for it. So if you want to attempt to run something in the marathon, which is, it's always good to get your feet wet for marathon settings with things like these, definitely submit a run. We still have a lot more Duck Derby coming up, so definitely grab yourself the spectator role inside the Final Fantasy Randomizer Discord. And if you're wanting to join the Final Fantasy Randomizer Discord, go to finalfantasyrandomizer.com. There will be a link to the Discord. You can generate yourself seeds to play. You can play the game however you wish to play it. It's an extremely malleable randomizer for how you wish to play. And I cannot give enough thanks to our devs for the work that they've put in. For the two that aren't here that have their own show, that's right, I'm talking about the OJ Power Hour. The next episode, I believe, will be coming up on Tuesday. So I definitely wanted to give that shout out to them. They've been doing a fantastic job with these shows throughout the weeks, and I'm looking forward to who the guest is going to be as well as what is in store for them. If you happen to catch this on YouTube, definitely be sure to swing on by. Yet again, the website you want to go to is finalfantasyrandomizer.com. Come join the Discord. We'll help you get going. And we'll teach you, if not everything, then as much as we know. There are a lot of us that are more than willing to help out with teaching. But I do believe that concludes the list of things that I had. So, Thavian, are you okay with me taking us out for the night?
Close her out, my good friend.
All right. Huge thank you to Sunflash for jumping in and doing the restream. Big thanks to Budge Mono and Giga for doing our tracking. Thavian, always a pleasure to run commentary with you, my friend. Major shout outs to Scarcer, Herbie B, Forsaken, and Jabrin for being our featured runners in this race. Remember, there is another race coming up on Sunday for the Duck Derby. So you're definitely going to want to stick around to watch that. But on behalf of our runners, Scarcerer, Herbie B, Forsaken, and Jabrin, my co-commentator, Thavian Hawk, our trackers, Budge Mono and Giga, and last but most certainly not least, one very important person, Sunflash, our restreamer. I am Sonny Roth 11. Keep those orbs shining bright. Keep that power that they give alive. Have a good night. And to close it all out, as Luffy DV would say, FFR fam, we gone.